Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. So, last night, the last thing I did before I went to bed, and this may not be conducive to sleeping, but I listened to the Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson debate. I didn't realize that was coming. I was flipping through some of the podcasts trying to decide on what I wanted to listen to yesterday at work, and I came on Patrick Bet-David's podcast, and they were talking about the debate. So I like to go to the source. It's a long debate, nearly 3 hours as I recall. I switched over and I downloaded the debate and I listened to it, and I finished it up last night just before I went to bed. I have a couple takeaways from this. I've watched Mr. Wilson's podcast a few times. Podcast debates really is what he does. Most of those are outtakes that I see either in reels or, someone's using him as a source on their podcast, and he's kind of a bully. And last night when he had the debate with Candace, he had as much admitted that he's kind of a bully. You don't have to like him, was his point, but you have to accept that he won the debate. That was part of his closing. No, I don't. Absolutely, I don't. I used to listen to Candace Owens' podcast occasionally. Kind of fell away with it when it became so centered on Charlie Kirk's death. That's a very odd thing to hear myself say, because in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have stopped listening to her podcast. I had to kind of put a little bit of space between me and that political assassination. I had to keep it at arm's length because I needed that stability of peace in my mind. Who won the debate? Unfortunately for Mr. Wilson, I have to say that Candace Owens edged you out, and she took the win on this debate. I haven't listened to any of the podcasts about the debate itself, but in my opinion, she outmaneuvered him, fought him, and as far as I could tell, she was, as much as he was prepared, she was much more prepared for this battle than he was. I think that she gets the win. Do I believe that there was a conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk? Well, this is probably my biggest takeaway from this debate. And, this is kind of within the church of I don't know, I suppose, but I don't know. And that's not even the point that I'm going to make. Not knowing means more than I don't have enough facts. What it really means is my government or foreign government or any government capable of having this conspiracy? And unfortunately, I have to say yes. So I center back on my government, the government of the United States of America. Is my government, are they corrupt enough to create a situation where someone that is a thorn in their side is eliminated? Yeah. They've shown this. They've proven this over and over again. This is something they are willing to do. Is my government willing to create false facts to support that? Obviously. And what is really very sad, my answer to that is I don't know, because I don't trust the people in power. I've had some discussions with some people around me, some close people, about Miss Owens. Something broke when she lost her friend to this assassination. Something inside of her broke. And I'm not being, condescending, and I'm not trying to say that this is a bad thing. When we lose people we love, something breaks in us. There's a piece of us that goes missing. In light of what she does for a living, and in light of her perspective about what's going on around her and her current situation at the network she left, Ben Shapiro's network, really kind of understand how this mindset came into being. But the real takeaway from this whole situation, the real takeaway really is, I don't know. And that kind of hit me when I woke up this morning, laying in bed as I am want to do, and I'm looking at the news, and I can't concentrate because my mind keeps going back to this debate. And it's not even about who won or who lost or who presented the best arguments. It's about, I don't know, and how sad that is that we live in that world. and we continue to vote for these people. And once they're in office, we don't really know what they're going to do. No matter what their track record, no matter what they promise, no matter what the party says they will do, the real answer about our government in general, whether it's local, the very localist of local, or national, and the answer is, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're willing to do to get what they want. And they are driving and continue to drive a wedge between the left and the right. Now, this particular debate was the right and the right. But what it really should highlight for everybody, and what we should all take away from this, is we don't know. And I know I come back to this quite a bit, but the truth is, the only way we're going to shake up the government, shake up these political leaders, is a third party. Once again, I have high hopes for a third party. Do I think it'll happen? I don't know. I'm praying it does. We need to recalibrate. The government is so far out of whack, both on the left and the right, that we need a recalibration. And that recalibration has got to come in the form of something new within the system. What I mean by within the system is a third party. I don't mean that we need the people inside the system of the government to fix it. They're not going to. They are making good money. They're making decisions that help their cronies. This crony capitalist society that they are creating is not capitalism. And the young people of not just our country, but of the world are paying that price. The shining lights on the hill are starting to dim. It was something that I had to kind of look in on myself and accept that I don't know what the answer is as far as Charlie Kirk goes. And what's even sadder is after the trial and after they convict him or release him or whatever the outcome is, none of us will still know, because a trial is no longer a final thing. So my takeaway from the Owens-Wilson debate is not who won or lost, but again, a hope that there is an awakening to I don't know. Because the truth is, it has taught us and reinforced the idea that we have a government, both local, national, and world, that really only leads us to one conclusion, and that is the people are not represented by the governments. I'm going to go out and do my job today. Go downstairs and finish this delicious cup of coffee. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, peace.